haven't made a video ever like this before. I just got back from a performance. You guys know I used to dance professionally, like full time, but I haven't done so in a few years, like full time, because of studying. So the last gig I did was actually a little over a year ago. And I was so nervous tonight because, you know, normally dance has been quite an active part of my life until a few years ago, because I really just took studying on. COVID, lockdown, I wasn't really motivated or able to dance all that often because, you know, we had the mask rule and this and that. I actually danced with a mask before and I hated it. I almost died. It really cuts, you know, your oxygen when you're breathing heavy. I can wear a mask at work, but when you're like doing something active, it does make it hard to breathe. So I really hated that. I couldn't breathe. But anyways, I am going to be taking off all my jewellery in front of you guys and just showing you what I wear for dance, especially for more conservative religious functions, more conservative Hindu functions, or Buddhist functions, or Muslim functions, things where you have to be a little more classy and elegant. You know, there's no time and place for Brazilian samba or belly dance or whatever, you know, there's more skin, but especially to like old school Asians or like religious functions, it's not always appropriate. So the clientele I had tonight was actually Nepali. So some of you guys have asked, like, you want to see my jewelry, you want to see my clothes, whatever. So this outfit here is called an anakali, and usually it's just like worn draped. Like, this is called the dupatta, and it's like a scarf. You can either wear it like over your head, or you can like drape it over your shoulder, or like wear it over your neck. The way I'm wearing it is like for dance, and there's a lot of different ways dancers pleat their dupattas so they don't move. I have like maybe like 3 or 4 safety pins, maybe more, to pleat it. So it kind of looks like a sari in a way. A lot of people will style the lengas kind of like this, similarly, to kind of resemble the pleats of a sari, because pleats of a sari is so nice. So as you can see, I pleated it to go this way, and then it's pinned here, and then I pleated it over my shoulder. If you're an Indian classical dancer like myself, you need to pleat. You need to be able to pleat and pin, because you're going to be a mess, and you're probably going to be hazardous to yourself if you try and dance without pinning things. So they don't move. They should look flowing, they should look natural, but they also should be fixed. So anakali is basically like a dress style salwar. That's like the best way I can describe it. And these are churidar pants. Churidar means it's a style of churiya, like bangles. So they look like bangles on the ankle because of the way they bunch. And these are my gongru, which are Indian classical bells. Normally, traditional like Bharatanatyam, like Odissi, Kuchipudi, Kathak dancers will have rows and rows, many rows of gongru. But because I don't do like strictly, purely Kathak or Bharatanatyam, I only have 1 row, because I don't need all those bells. I'm not doing that the whole time. They are like hardcore, constant technical like bell sounds and movements, the foot movements. But because I am technically a fusion, my Bollywood is mixed with mudra and Indian classical. So I'm kind of like a freestyle Bollywood dancer, but heavily infused with Indian classical. And that's something that so many people complimented me on today. It was so nice. Basically they were like, oh my gosh, what is the style? I see so much Indian classical, but it's different. I'm like, yeah, because, you know, I'm not quite Bollywood, but I like the upbeat vibrance of Bollywood. So I don't stick strictly to a dance form, but it is very mudra Bollywood, because mudra has elements of Kathak, but mudra is a lot more watered down, more freestyle. So yeah, that's me. And let's see, I'm wearing, it's all like Indian, Chinese, like Asian gold is always like 22 to 24 karat. So all of my jewelry is gold plated, because this would cost thousands if this was real. It's coming off anyway. So this is the knot, and it's like a hoop little bells. It doesn't have to have little bells, but it's knoth is usually the hoop that basically goes into your nose, and it can have this hair thing. This looks really pretty for dance. I love this kind of chain. It's my favorite. I'm not a huge stone person. I don't like stones much, but this is so gorgeous and I love it so much. And this is my Mang Tika. Tika can just be one thing, but Mang Tika usually has like more strands. And these are better for dance than just the Tika alone because they stick to the hair more. If you have a Mang Tika, you have more support in your hair, and I didn't actually have to bobby pin this down. Sometimes, depending on the Mang Tika, you have to bobby pin them down, but I don't have to do it with this one because the chains are actually kind of short, and it's great because they're short because they actually are more beneficial short, as when dancers put flowers and stuff in their hair, gajra and things like that. I didn't even want to mix pink with red, but it actually worked. It looks kind of cute. These are also bobby pins, so they further enforce my hair. But because we put lots of stuff in our hair, this is very minimal especially for an Indian classical dancer. Again, I don't follow any costume rules because I'm not strictly one or the other, so I just wear whatever I want. It's nice. So because it's short, it works perfect for my hair to be up. And as you know, the more stuff you put in your hair, the more gajra and jewellery and stuff you put bunnies, you have less room on your forehead to actually put jewellery in. So this is so perfect. It's like my favorite Mang Tika I've ever had, and especially to dance in. It came in that set. It came with that knoth that you saw. So it's just gorgeous. I love it so much. This little box is a very typical box for Indian jewellery. They all come in these little plastic boxes. I have them in all sizes depending on the jewellery, but I've got other like Indian earrings. Look at those are cute. And things in there. And what was I gonna say? I keep my knoth in a separate little box because I want to keep it extra safe, extra safe, because it's so dear to me. So I keep it like this, and then a box inside of a box. So I keep my dance jewelry in there. My earrings, these are my favorite earrings to dance in because they are lightweight and they don't have too much stuff going on, which makes it easier for dance. I love the shape of these. These are my favorite earrings. And I wear them both like when I dance and when I'm just like on a normal day. Oh yes, and my necklace. I love this necklace so much, so much. It's really hard to find kind of unique Indian jewelry. Some of them look the same. You'll get a lot of jewelry that looks like, oh my god, I've seen that a million times. I want something really unique. So I look for really unique, elaborate pieces. I would wear this on a normal day as well, depending on where I'm going. You know, since COVID, I don't care anymore. I just like I don't need a reason to dress up. I barely have any opportunities to dress up. So why not dress up whenever? Like go to the mall. I wore a really nice salwar to the mall the other day. And it just feels, you know, why not feel good? Okay, because I have so much hair, these are the only like bobby pins that can keep my hair in check. These are magic bobby pins or something, magic clips or whatever, but they're shaped like this. This is made for super cumbersome, crazy hair. It's like a weapon. Look at it. It looks like bloody cricket legs or something. I don't know. It looks dangerous, you know. It's just like, I'm going to lock in your bloody hair. So I use a bunch of these. I would die without these. These stay throughout my dance because of the way they're shaped. They really lock into the hair. I can't recommend these enough if you have thick hair like me. Also, for some reason, these brown ones are stronger than the black ones. The black ones break. The plastic is not as durable, so get the brown ones. They disappear on our hair anyway, because if your hair's black, it will just it will just overpower this color. It's kind of see-through, so it's actually really good. Oh, see? Do I have any more? That's it. Oh, no. I use so many of those, see, because I have so much hair. It takes me ages. Okay. Is that it? Oh. I have like a million in my head. I think I used almost the whole box. Ugh. And then I have this bun maker, which makes that really nice, perfect bun. I could make a bun with my hair, but it's not with, see, I have a lot of hair. It would be like nearly the same size, but this keeps everything tight and neat and together and helps keep the clips locked in. So as a dancer, you need to have one of those. Ugh. For a bun maker. That feels so good. That feels so good. Okay. My jewellery. Here's my jewellery. I have 2 of them. These are actually 2 sets and I combine them to make one. I actually like the plated ones. I don't like the cheap fake ones. These are like the more expensive plated jewellery. People like to have asymmetrical and mismatched jewellery. It can look kind of cute if you have enough of them. But as you can see here, I've done this. If I separate them into the ones that they belong to, this one set has 2 karas and like 4 bangle juriyas, and then this other set just has 4 karas. So I combine, they're all symmetrical on each wrist. But these are my favorite. My flowers belong to a set that I actually got off Amazon. These are the most high quality flowers that I've ever had. These are not traditional gajra. They look like white little bud things, and that's what traditional Indian classical dancers wear in their hair. But you know, I'm just like, I'm not a traditional Indian class. I have Indian classical dance in my style, but I'm not a strict Kathak or Bharatanatyam dancer. So I have these pretty flowers I got from Amazon. Metal clips. So good. These are my gonguru. These traditional rope gonguru are the nicest looking. They have beautiful brass bells and they're very loud. I have 1 row and they're loud enough. Such a lovely sound. And I put these in a plastic bag. This is my safety pin little box. I actually got this from IKEA with the toiletry set that my sister still has. I still have to get it back from her, little monster. But it was like a toiletry set for like creams and stuff, but it's perfect as a safety pin box. And I think I'm just gonna like leave this pinned to my anarkali so I don't have to do it again next time. But anyway, I'm glad to share this all with you if you found it interesting, and I hope you have a great night. Bye bye.